Hi there, it's Mr.Po and welcome to a new episode of What's Good About the Tank. It's been a long time since summer, the last episode of this series, and for those viewers who are just joining, thank you for joining, and I will explain you what we do here. We take the most beautiful and inspiring aquascapes that are posted on social media by other passionate hobbyists, and we try to learn from them by looking at them, analyzing them from the artistic point of view, from the point of view of aquascaping and fish keeping, and try to learn from these, examples. So without further ado, let's take a look at some of the aquariums that I discovered recently and saved in my social media. And right now, based on the Instagram posts that are always awesome, and there is always the room for exploring something new, let's just take a look at some of those examples and try to just admire them. So let's go. The first one, this one, I liked that it has this streamlined look with one, probably chunky piece of wood coming in a triangular form all over the length of the aquarium, and it has this jungly look because of the round pebbles and a little bit aged because of the plants taking over the wood, so you don't see that much, but it really creates a beautiful impression because it's kind of like one uniformed piece, and the plants that sit on it, they are kind of like one piece impression, and it really works here because the aquarium is long and the fish selection, neon tetras, it's rather good because they are also streamlined fish that are kept in bigger groups, so it has all that kind of flow impression. And I like the round pebbles because they always create this jungly, wilder look. So let's come to the next one. I was really impressed by this because it looks like this is a combination of easy plants and not so easy plants. I don't know, unless it's pearl wheat, this carpet, but it doesn't look like it because these leaves are much smaller, they are more compact, and they are just covering everything nicely without going upwards. So at the same time we have this Velisneria, and this aquarium is definitely overgrown, but I think that the owner made it on purpose, because right now we have this cave impression, cave style, that goes to the focal point. You see, this is the focal point off center as usual, and our attention is drawn towards this point, like the cave itself, and the fact that there is a backlight behind that illuminates all that, it draws attention even more, and it creates this kind of three-dimension beautiful look, which has the sense of depth, which is not as easy as it may seem in an aquarium, especially in a small aquarium like this one, and the Velisneria that is overgrown can be a little bit difficult to be maintained, but at the same time it may create such a nice, jungly, almost mysterious impression. So the next one is this one, and this kind of looks like Dutch style aquascape, maybe with not that strict as usual, but I really like it. And pay attention how cleverly the plants are trimmed, how cleverly they are placed. They are placed in an off-center positions in focal points, and also the greediness is just placed here and there, mixed with red ones, red tints, and this is very beautiful. This is a clever plant placement, in my opinion. So some plants are a little bit overgrown, like this ones. I think that it's left deliberately like that. Some plants are neatly pruned, which is good. So all in all, very nice tank, Dutch aquascape. I think that there is no hardscape, but sometimes you don't need it, especially if you have this carpeting action going on. Definitely there is CO2, I guess. So the next one I really liked, and what I liked about this aquarium is that it has this nature aquarium style mixed with jungle style, if you will. And if you take a look at Takashi Amano's early works, he tried to create this kind of look which had this aesthetics and all the basic rules of aquascaping, but he was a little bit more liberal in terms of how plants grow and how mixed they are between each other. Usually we try to plant plants separately, but in nature you know that plants grow in chaotic way, so this has this chaotic way vibes. You see Anubias here is mixed up with these carpeting plants, and Velisneria is also all over the place, or maybe it's not Velisneria, maybe it's kinda other grassy type, but no, I guess it's Velisneria probably. Grassy plants, other types are also here, I guess. So I like it. I like that it has this kind of flow which goes to, like, you know, in this way. And of course this piece of wood is kind of like the centerpiece of attention. All in all, very nice, very mysterious, let's say, you know, impression is created here. Pay attention to how green it is. I mean, like, you know, the green is just glowing here. The next one is pretty much, it reminds me of George Farmer's approach, because he likes these chunky pieces of wood put, and he tries to cover them in as like sparingly. It's a basic aquascaping approach. So you have these stones, you place the wood on those, and you place the plants. Background, foreground, and midground that are usually, you know, placed on the wood, if there is a wood, of course. I really like it. I like that it is clean. This look is cleaner, you know. The plants, I think they are in the process of growing, so maybe they will grow a little bit more. For example, these ones and the background plants, so they will take over this place, and this composition will become a little bit more triangular, because right now we see that this is the focal point here with this piece of wood and these compositions of wood here, but this kind of like right side, maybe it has a little bit, it lacks something. So I think that the scaper here, he waits for this to grow, so this will become like a triangular form here. So, you know, when the plants grow like this and all over the place, this will become even more triangular composition, in my opinion. But so far, even now, it looks impressive, really impressive. So the next one, okay, the cat. Yes, like, you know, many people who have aquariums and cats, cats usually are very interested in aquariums, not because there are some fish, because they are not interested in that much. These are too small for them. But the water, you know, they drink from it, etc. So you see, I have always been kind of like, it's always been controversial, in my opinion, according to what I saw on social media, in terms of using these chunky, squarey pieces of wood. And the problem is because some aquascapers, some experts think that they look unnatural, but you see, the beauty is in the eye of the beholder. It doesn't mean that, you know, we can put ugly things in aquarium, but as long as they are beautiful, impressive, and they create some vibe, they are okay. For example, in here, we see these pieces of chunky, squarey wood, but they work because they look like, almost like iwagumi, you know? They look like stones, to be honest. And the way they are placed, it creates this triangular impression immediately. And pay attention how cleverly plants are placed all over the place, behind and around and on the wood itself. There are a lot of textures happening. This one, that one, that one, this one, that one. A lot of different textures, a lot of different colors. The background itself. It's definitely one of the best examples of... I don't think iwagumi, because iwagumi, as we have talked already, is about carpeting plants and usually green ones only. But this is a good example, a really nice book example of a good nature aquascape, you see? It reminds me a little bit of A.D. Meyer style, like, you know, I'm considering how many different textures, colors, plants are placed, how they are placed, and also the background, you know. But this is what I put myself on a pedestal as the example of nice, proper aquascape of modern times. So that's it. Next one is a little bit minimalist, but I like it because I myself consider that, for example, sometimes the less is more, especially if you have a smaller tank and if you want to make them a little bit easier to maintain. So this is a good one. A very nice piece of wood, like an arc, and on this arc we have some anubias attached and some other epiphyte plants, or maybe most even, and there is a betta fish. Of course it's kinda like a little bit questionable, because betta fish like overgrown aquariums. It's better for them from the point of view of their health and safety, because they like to hide there, explore, you know, and the more plants you have, the less problems you have with water, obviously. And that's why I don't know how comfortable betta feels there. And I think that this aquarium is a little bit too small for a betta fish, because it looks like a 12 liters or 15 liters maximum, maybe less. And the bettas usually are okay in 20 or 25 liter aquariums, based on my own experience and experience of any other fish keeper. Nice, kind of like luxury look here happening, with a nice light, with nice, you know, very simple but impressive scapes, you know. So the next one is, I have found these 3 very nice aquariums, and pay attention to the fact that they are not that maintained. I mean, like, they are not pristine clean, but they shouldn't be, because, you know, as long as the nature works, it's okay, and it creates this nature vibes. And pay attention to how interesting this look. This looks like, you know, a diorama style, obviously. This is a triangular style with nature, you know, natural vibe, because of the roundness of those stones. And these pieces of wood placed like that, they remind of nature aquarium of Takashi Amano. And these ones, I think it's a little bit more liberal, and they all work here. They are all different, and they are all similar in some way, and they really work. I like them. I like those aquariums, and I think that they are low tech, and it makes it even more impressive. Well, nice. I wish I had this kind of like room in which I would have only aquariums of different sizes, different fish, and I would just come in here and have a nice day, have a nice, you know, kind of like, I don't know, observation of aquariums, of nature and fish and everything, you know, happening around. Nice one. So the next one, I think that this one, why it stands out to me is because it's kind of like an island here. This is a more or less cleaner part, and there is such a construction. I think that there are stones below, and these stones are completely covered in moss or some other carpeting plants, and on top of that we see this red rotala, I think. So, you know, and this works because it's kind of like an island style composition. At the same time, it has the vibes of Iwagumi, it has the vibes of, I don't know, like nature aquarium to some extent, without much of the woodscape. And it works because, you know, it's kind of like when people look at this, they are impressed by only just like carpeting action happening, and the contrast between this carpet and the clean sand on the right side and in front of. And this red plants pop, you know, in the focal point. That's it for today, guys. This was an analysis, and if you want to take a look at those aquariums, you can easily, you know, go to social media and find out all those beautiful aquascape created by wonderful people all over the world who are involved in this hobby. So, well, it was always a pleasure, a nice experience to observe those aquariums and analyze them a little bit deeper, you know, with you guys. So thank you so much for joining, and if you consider joining aquascaping, I will tell you one thing: it is really impressive, it is beautiful, it is artistic, it teaches us a lot, it teaches us to appreciate nature and to develop our sense of responsibility, of course, and also our artistic skills. So good luck if you want to join this wonderful club of aquascapers. It was Mr.Po. Thank you for watching. There will be more videos to come, hopefully. Stay safe and see you in the next episode.